let's go ahead and get started. The reason I wanted to do a class today is I wanted everyone to be able to really consider coming into the next week, the things that we're looking at as far as the stimulus package, and what can we expect as traders, right? That's one of the things that when you sit back and think about stimulus packages, it's not been a lot that the government has done for the people. You hear the bailouts for corporations and everything else. But our last stimulus package was on the 15th of April, around that week, right? And that budget for that particular stimulus package was about 1.8 trillion. Okay, it was about 1.8 trillion. And then now we're coming to this new stimulus package that is about 900 billion. All right, so while the effects may not be as severe, still another stimulus package on top of another, as far as printing money, is never a good thing for the economy. And if you really want to see a great video on the stimulus package, you can go to Hydra Trading Systems, their YouTube page, right? Hydra Trading Systems, their YouTube page. They go over a great video talking about the stimulus package and what it means to us as traders. What I'm about to show y'all is something that is not for the rookie, right? It's not for the beginner trader, someone that doesn't know what a pip or a pullback is. This is a little more detailed, and it's something that you can really look at as far as what can I expect this to do for me as a trader on the charts. All right, I really don't care about news and all of that stuff for the most part when I trade, but with this stimulus package, it's really going to if you pay attention to it, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. But if you pay attention to the markets, you can set yourself up for some nice swing trades that you'll be able to get into effortlessly. Really, I mean, it's like, wow, it's that easy. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, so what I did is I went back for the week that the stimulus check was issued, and I wanted to see as far as the USD, the US dollar, what it did for us, right? I want you to sit back and really pay attention to what I'm about to show you. And once I show you this, you will know how to really game plan on the USD alone to catch an enormous amount of pips, right? Again, dealing in the foreign exchange, past results that does not guarantee future profits. Trading in the foreign exchange is volatile. I'm not a financial analysis type person or advisor in any way, shape, or form. I'm just telling you what I see, my thoughts on the market, so that way you can look at what I see. So what I did, team, is I went to the day chart, and I went back to the last time that the stimulus check was issued. Okay, so I drew it up top to bottom for that particular week. And then what I like to do myself is I'll go down to the 4 hour. Okay. Here we go. All right. So in looking back at the calendar, you'll be able to see that week that the checks were given out. Most were issued around April the 15th. That Sunday was the 12th. So let's go back to the beginning of that Sunday. Okay, which would have been this candle right here. All right? And then that Friday was the 17th. Okay, so we're going to expand this out to the 17th right there. I'm going to highlight my low, my high for that week. Now this is GBP USD, and so this week you'll be able to notice really how it sets you up over the long term. And I'm not talking, this is no scalping or anything like that. This is a long-term view. Okay, so now I have that set up. Let's go back. Let's hit the day chart up. Okay, so what you're looking at, team, is this zone here on the day chart gave you the zone for when it really left out of this area, because you had a slight moves up and down, but when the true move happened to come away from this week that the stimulus was really put into effect, look what happened. You got your breakout, a beautiful retest. You entered the trade. You're in that trade for 9 days or 7 days for 383 pips, right? That's not including all of this, right? I wouldn't have been in that myself, but 383 pips. So let's break it down to the 4 hour. Look what it did on the 4 hour for you. This is your zone here. Essentially, what I would consider this, as in some of the other team members know, when I box out an area like this, if for this particular way of thinking, this is your no trade zone. Okay, right here. But every time that you come out of this area, right? If you do what we on our team is a level 2, even if it doesn't break and retest out of the line, your level 2 puts you on a really nice trade on the way down. That would have been a trade for you for 200 pips. It came back in the zone, the no trade zone. You got a break, a retest a couple of times. You got one here for 64 pips, another one that came, went back for 80 pips, and another here that went for another 60. Again, you got more, another sale here, but look at this move here. This is the move here that really paid you coming out of this particular zone. Okay, it created the same high as it created right here this week. It created that same high in July. You got a break and retest on that high, and if you would have took that, that's a 500 pip trade right there, right? That is a 500 pip trade right there, coming out of this, the what I call the stimulus zone, right? The stimulus zone. Right there. No trade zone. That zone is called the stimulus zone. All right. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through to some other pairs that USD is involved in heavily. We're not going to do any exotics, right? Not going to do any exotics, but let's go to Euro USD now. Remember our times, the 12th of April. So let me come back right. This candle here. Bam, that candle there to $17th. There we go. So we're going to capture that high right there, and we're going to capture that low right here. Now, once we do this, now what I'm going to do is I want to go and get a horizontal ray, put at the very top, and I will do the same for my low. GBP USD caught a bullish run after this zone. Look at what Euro USD did. Broke out, came back beautifully, retested the exact same line right here. Right there we go. We got the no trade zone, the stimulus zone. And a lot of people might say, Al, but that's a lot of pips I'm missing. You can do whatever strategy you want to within this area, team. But I'm talking about just for this particular move that we're waiting for, right? This particular move that we're waiting for. That's the reason you keep these charts separate from all your other charts. That's what I do personally. So what I want to do is I'm going to set me an alert. I'm going to let next week play out. Okay. Then when it plays out, I'm going to set that support and resistance for that. And I'm just going to wait for a break and retest out of that zone, whenever it may be. And so let's say if you come here and you don't get enough pips and you end up, let's say, just 30 pips, it comes back and it hits you 20 pip stop loss. Okay. So you lost, let's say you lost 20 here, 20 here, 20 here. That's 60 pips. Look what happened when you finally got your break and retest. That's 360 pips. You're positive 300 pips. At that point in time, are you even worried about the 60 pips that you lost? Okay. So you really have to sit back and think about, like, what's your goal? And for me, imagine this week was 28th of May. That's when that move happened. Let's see for GBP USD. It didn't happen until July, right? Now, so we have those two moves. Now let's check out USD JPY. I'm going to go back to this end of this week, 21st. There we go, 17th. Okay, so now we have the times down. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. And let me pull up these times, bring it out. So this was my high during that time. And this was my low during that time. Okay, so now I have it boxed up, right? Now let's go ahead and draw a horizontal ray at the very tip of that, and a horizontal ray at the support. So the resistance and support are trapped up. And let's see what the outcome was, team. Look at that. Look at that. But if you look here, let's go up to a higher time frame. Let's check out the 6-hour. Look at our beautiful move that happened right here, right? To come out of this zone completely. It never came back. Okay. that in totality is 377 pip run. Now, I know that you don't want to stay in it for that long. For most people, they don't have the patience to. But once this stimulus zone is broken, you may have a rebound coming back up. I don't care, right? That's one thing you'll learn about the way I trade. I don't try to predict the market. I just set it up so that way, whichever way it moves so that way I can take advantage of it. Okay. Okay. So for all of this time, you can trade any other strategy in this area, but for our stimulus zone, our no trade zone, just for our stimulus package, look what if it always so far has came out before that final move and given us a beautiful retest within that area. Now let's check out USD CAD. We're going to do the same thing for USD CAD. Okay, so there we go. We got the high during that time. We have the low. Look at what it did. All right, so if you're looking at it now, you see the same area, right? I would have marked the high, then the low. And as everyone knows, the way that we trade, if we don't get a beautiful retest, then we take care of the breakout and look, beautiful retest, bam, right? And then you never saw it again, team. You never saw it again. Look at that. This could be your 401k trade right here, right? So that right there is 400 pips, right? This is our 400 pip trade right there. And it just kept going. Look, imagine. That's 1,000 pips. 1,000 pips right now that you could be up. Or as of right now, 968 pips, right? So when you think of moves that happen in the market from that zone, then this is going to be a very telling situation. Let's look at US 30. I already put the zones up. Look what happened. Boom. And when you look at this, I want to take it to the day so you can see it better. But look at this. This is on the day chart, team. Can you imagine getting in on this position here on US 30 and taking that run up? Imagine how many times you would double and triple your account, right? So that is the thing that you want to be able to pay attention to and to really take advantage of next week, okay? Let's look at US 500 S&P, right? Beautiful, beautiful move. And for us, remember us as traders on our team, if we don't get a beautiful break and retest we like, that breakout candle, which was right here. Oops, take it off of that. Look what it came back and did. Bam. Came back and gave you everything you wanted off of this pullback, and then you took it to the house. That's the S&P team. That is the S&P coming and looking. Can you imagine being into these three or four trades and your accounts going through this off of this next week off the stimulus package, right? Now, let's see. I'm going to experiment right quick. I didn't have this pulled up, but for all of y'all Bitcoin fans, right? Okay. So let's see here for all our Bitcoin fans what that week did for you. Okay, that was your high. This was your low. Look what happened. Break, retest. And you know the story from there. You know the story from there. So this zone next week that we experience is going to be a very, very important zone for us to pay attention to. What I'm going to do, this is personally what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my charts, make what I call the stimulus zone, okay? And I'm going to draw it up. I'm going to block it out, and I will set my alerts on them. And once I get my breakout and retest of my zone, I'll take the trade, because I'm not worried about if I lose 2 or 3. I know when it breaks out the stimulus zone, it's going to run. And I'm just going to sit back and catch all those pips back up. Okay? So I want each and every one of you to really just pay attention to the way the market goes next week. Zone it up. That's our stimulus zone. And then we'll wait patiently for the run. Okay? As you see in Bitcoin, it didn't take long, right? Boom. And now with this next stimulus for next week, for people that's getting it this week, I'm not going to do it right. I'm going to do it so that way I'll break it up, but then next week just let it go and see what it does, because that's going to be the telling part as far as the volatility of every pair is different. So Bitcoin will break out quicker than our Forex pairs. But as you see, even GBP USD broke out a lot later than what Euro USD did. Okay, so you have to have each one independently charted up, set your alert on each, and let it go from there. But once you do, when you get that retest of that zone and you get that run, team, you're looking at several hundred pips for every pair that the USD is involved in. I did not look at the exotics, right? But just these 7 pairs, imagine the amount of pips that was there. We didn't even say how many pips was there in US 30. Look at this. Let's just do from this point right here. My goodness. Look at that there. So you're talking about thousands of pips, team. Okay? You're talking about thousands of pips, being able to hold that trade, stay into it, and know that you're going to be able to, for the most part, double, triple, maybe even quadruple your account off of these trades. So let's get ready. for the new year, right? It's going to be great. We start getting some liquidity back into the market, right? A little bit. But the great thing about it now is the stimulus package is giving us, it's like having the cheat sheet, okay? Because we know even if it's a negative effect or positive, it before it goes, it's going to give us a major retest, and then we'll be able to take advantage of these trades for a lot of pips. So does anyone have questions? If so, please type them in at this time. I don't see any questions. So I'm just want to say this. I was on looking at a video on stimulus packages. It is a great video out there. If you go look up and follow a channel called Hydro Trading Systems, they'd hit the nail on the head when it comes to some stimulus packages. So check that out, team. And I'm telling you, let's get ready to start the new year off right, and let's take advantage of what we have to do. Okay. Appreciate y'all. Hit the like button, right? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see each and every one of you next week while we're getting these pips. All right. Have a great day, y'all.